Hey everyone, it's Orla from Performance Yoga here. I am bringing you the next video from my beautiful, bright venue in Castletroy called Embody Fitness. It's in the Castletroy shopping centre above Super Value near Marvel's Hairdressing, so it should be easy enough to find. It's gorgeous, it's bright, spacious, it is, I'm really basically just looking forward to kicking off in Limerick. It's a unique service to Limerick, a physiotherapy-led yoga class. If you want to know a little bit more information, just give me an email, orla@performanceyoga.ie. All the details there are in my bio. So hopefully see you then and enjoy the video. So we'll start off with something really simple up the top of the mat, just a bit of forward folding and a little bit of, I suppose, my version of sun salutations. Feet hip distance apart. And if you're unsure about your hip distance apart, what I often do here is just put two of my blocks 2 foot distance apart. Those of you who are in my classes will know about that at this stage. And if you keep your left foot in line with the left block most of the time and your right foot in line with the right block most of the time, you'll be doing pretty well. So inhale, breathing in, stretching all the way up. And just exhale, warming the shoulders up, raining it down all the way. Brilliant. Inhale all the way up, straight ahead. Bend the elbows, press the elbows back behind you and just rain it down, bring it down all the way. You'll feel the shoulder blades warming up there behind your back. Inhale all the way up. Think of your pinky fingers, baby fingers, and pressing the baby fingers back to really open up the front chest and shoulder area. Good. Last one. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, raining it down, this time bending the knees deeply. Forward fold, bend the knees really deep and let the head just hang, let it be free. I do recommend a good knee bend here just because it protects the hamstrings a little bit at the start. Big deep breaths in and out. On your next exhale, you're going to attempt to straighten your knees and your back to make a right angle with your body. And exhale, bend those knees, fold down again, place the palms down, take the right leg back, drop the right knee down, point the right toes as you inhale, reach those arms all the way up, front of the right hip will be getting that stretch here, and then come to center line again with the hands. Grab your right wrist, breathing into the belly, let's take a big breath in as we tilt to the left. The side of the right hip now is getting a decent stretch, as is the front. Big deep breaths working into your body there, just to make the most of the movement, connect the movement to the breath. Great. As we reach up, we'll take the hands back down, curl the right toes under and send the left leg back. Once the left leg is back, bend the elbows and take the whole body down to the mat. Great. Inhale, mini cobra as we take the head and chest up, elbows point to the wall behind you. And exhale, come all the way down. Take another cobra. Inhale, head and chest up, and elbows point and reach to the wall behind you. Exhale, coming on down. Excellent. Curl the toes under, push yourself up to all fours, and then send the hips back for just a really easy, playful, gentle downward facing dog. All I'm doing, sending my hips up high, trying to keep my back straight, and let the legs get the flexibility work with this one. Pushing one heel to the ground and then the other. Excellent. So, a while ago, you had your right leg back and your left leg forward. Let's take the right leg forward now in a second. Reach it back first, back to the wall behind you, and then send it right up towards your hands. That might be tricky to do, but give it a shot. If you need to, place down that left knee, if the foot landed back here, and just guide it up along. This is a stronger practice. Let's point the left toes away from you and inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and back. Left front of hip now is getting a nice stretch. And you can spend as long as you want in these moves. You don't have to flow with me as quickly. Use these cues to hold these positions for your own body when you feel you need to stretch longer in different areas. Straighten up, grab your left wrist. And inhale, big belly breath as you tilt over to the right side. Now it's the outer left hip that's feeling the majority of that stretch. The front of mine is too, but the outside of it now and even all the way down along that whole kinetic chain of the side part of my body. So when we're stretching one area of the body, the brilliant thing about yoga is that it gets the whole thing going. It's not just a quad stretch, it's not just a glute stretch. The whole chain pattern movement. Excellent. Let's bring the hands down, take the right leg back this time. You'll recognise this one as plank. What we want to do to get to the floor is a little bend in the elbows. Keep the body as straight as you can. All the way down. Point the toes. Inhale, chest up, elbows point to the wall behind you. And exhale, come all the way down. Strong legs now as you inhale, lifting the upper body. Elbows not winging out, pulling in and pointing to the wall behind you. And all the way down. Let's take one more good cobra for our back extension. Inhale, chest forwards. Almost imagine you're trying to get your sternum breastbone to face the wall opposite you. You're almost pulling yourself forward even. Good one. And exhale down. Take a moment. Take a few breaths here. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the energy you're creating in your body. And just change your head position for a moment. And then we'll fly along. Hands down, up to all fours, and then kick the hips back for downward facing dog. Nice strong straight spine. And we pedal out the legs here again. So again, the big thing to do in downward dog is you can be flowing, you can move, but try and keep some bit of straightness in your spine. If your downward dog is looking a little like this, I'd much prefer you to bend your knees deeply so that you can send your chest toward the wall behind you, so you can begin to work on your core strength and your leg flexibility. Brilliant, well done. Strong arms. Let's take the left leg now back as far as we can go. And then sweep it all the way up. Drop down the right knee if needs be. No problem over there if you feel like you need to lift that leg. Just take a little inhale here, lift the chest. And exhale that right leg up to where you started off in that deep forward fold with knees bent. In a moment you are going to take a breath in to help straighten your back and your legs at the same time. Tighten your tummy muscles, breath in, lengthen, create that lovely right angle with your body if you can. And exhale, rain it down, move it down. One more inhale, lengthen. Pull the elbows back into your side here as well. Maybe a nice little shoulder straightener as well. And exhale all the way down. Bend the knees deeply, out go the arms, inhaling all the way up. And exhaling, hands into your heart center. Great, we're getting warmed up now, aren't we? Fab. Let's take the hands to the hips, step the left leg back for warrior two. Now my left foot, left block, they're in the same alignment. My right foot is pointing to the right block. Very important in warrior two to just try and keep that front knee safe, healthy, and directly over your ankle. So that line there should be as perpendicular to the floor as possible. Strong straight back leg and the toes of the back foot pointing towards you a little bit, as opposed to turning out to the side. Good. Give the hips a little wiggle around, always important here. Level the hips, just make sure that they're not tilted. And then right arm reaches out in front, left arm out behind. Now, shoulders can be doing funny things here. One, they might be up, one might be up. Let's see if we can level them out. Give them a little bit of rounding first, and then let them settle into a comfortable position. Let's just enjoy a little bit of time in this pose, get the most out of it. Here's a tip. You should be feeling both legs working equally. So if you feel like your front leg's doing all the work, tighten up that left bum muscle a little bit, encourage it, include it in the whole process. And you'll get that left leg working just as hard as the front. Even out the workload in every pose. Good, we're going to do a little reverse warrior now. It really means send that right arm a little forwards, all the way up, and maybe crescent it over to the other side, to the back side of the mat. This left hand can slide all the way down. The temptation is to strengthen that front, or straighten that front leg. Try and keep it where it's at. It's actually harder to keep it where it was. Big deep breath there now as we come into our extended side angle pose. Your version, this is the simple version. Elbow onto the thigh, palm faces up, and then the left arm reaches up to the ceiling. Now for some, you might want to go with something stronger, you'll know yourself, or maybe you want to reach down a little further. As long as it's comfortable for you, as long as you feel like you can comfortably manage it. And there's no right and wrong here with the top arm position. You can move it along, reach it, pull it back. Let's bring it all the way down, bring it down. Left hand down, right hand down, pivot on the back foot. And we'll reverse our twist here a little bit. Let's now strengthen the back leg and take the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Big breaths. Shoulders aren't near your ears. Try and draw them away from the ears. Keep the body strong. Keep it moving with your breath. Let's take the right arm down. Right leg back. Delighted to get into downward dog and just soften it out again. That's the job. We're going to do all that now for the opposite side. Step, hop or jump. Those feet right up to the top of the mat. Separate your feet out to about hip distance apart. And inhale all the way up again. Exhale, hands to the heart center. I'm going to turn around, you don't have to. Right leg back as far back as you feel comfortable. Once you step back with the right leg, you may feel a natural groin stretch happening there. It's okay, as long as it's not too intense. If it was too intense for you, one step back as far. Priority here really is your knee, your back. So keep that front knee strong over the ankle. You'll protect the back by keeping the hips level. Tucking the tail down and pulling the pubic bone up to your belly button. These are all cues you'll be well used to hearing if you're in my classes or been following the videos on YouTube. Relax the shoulders and then float the arms out. Left arm reaches forward, right arm behind. I do it myself all the time. I'm concentrating away on this knee and this arm is kind of flagging or pointing off in a mad direction. So if you can keep an eye on all of it, it's like learning how to drive a car sometimes. 5 or 6 things to keep an eye on, but the more you practice it, same way as the more you drive your car, the more you get used to it. Your body is the best machine you'll ever own, so it's really nice to be able to become more and more aware of what it does, what it doesn't, and how you can help it as best you can. Let's take that left arm forwards now, reaching it forward, up and back for our peaceful warrior, or it's called reverse warrior as well. Your head can be anywhere, wherever's comfortable for you. Some people like to look right back up at that arm. Kind of unbalances me a little bit. I'm not too keen on it, so I'm just going to stare over at the wall. It's easier. And just as big deep breath there now as we come into our extended side angle pose. Your version. I'm going to go left elbow to left thigh, and the right arm sends up to the ceiling. Again, that arm can be up here. You could even be doing big circles with that arm if you want a little more shoulder mobility, as long as it's not pinching you anywhere, as long as it feels comfortable. Work within your comfort zone. That's the trick with yoga. Don't anger anything. Another option, taking that left arm off the leg, stronger move. Not one you'd like to have to hold for 5 minutes. Excellent. And then let's come back down to plank. Once you're in plank, kick up those hips, downward facing dog again. Spend a bit of time here now. Just spend a bit of time wiggling out the hips, pedaling out and softening out the legs. The hands should be as wide, if not a little wider, than where your shoulders are. And the shoulders, you'll notice, you can do a couple of different things with them as well. You can really play with this pose, as long as it feels good to you. Excellent. Let's take the knees down. We'll have our rest in child's pose. Perfect work today, guys. That's a nice little burner, a nice little starter. You can spend time in any of those moves, spend a little bit longer in them, just to get what you need for your day. But that sequence should guide you through plenty to get a bit of heat going in your body, a bit of life, a bit of energy. Well done following me. Thanks very much for your time. Namaste, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.